Welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. The first time I traveled to California was not in 2023, it was in 2014. I drove because I didn't have time to buy a plane ticket. Drove 2,200 miles from Kentucky to Los Angeles in less than 2 days to watch a purported wealth building conference. And I'm not going to mention who the name of the speaker is. Some of you will know who I'm talking about, but this isn't about him. The point is not what I did. The point is what I learned, which I didn't really need to travel to this conference to learn. But the idea of a mission statement, that was one gem that I gleaned from this particular public speaker. A mission statement as it pertains to an executive summary, a business venture that you want to start, develop, etc. In his words, a mission statement should be 10 words or less. You should be able to count it on both hands, assuming you have all digits intact. And it should be simple. As he put it, so simple, my 90-year-old grandma should be able to understand it if you got a 90-year-old grandma. I had a great-grandma once who lived to be 96. So in my case, could my 96-year-old great-grandma understand it? But it should not be this complex, abstruse, esoteric, higher-order idea. Very simple, very basic. So the example that he used, to spread good ideas using mass media. 7 words. Could his 90-year-old grandma understand that? Could my 96-year-old great-grandma understand that? Yeah, probably. Another example. To deliver good foods more cheaply. Less than 10 words. If you're in agriculture, less than 10 words. Very simple, very basic. Doesn't take a genius to understand that. So this idea of a mission statement, which is really the core of like the platitudes on which my thinking and my processing are built. It's something you can process when you first wake up at 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. It doesn't require all your turbines to be fully warmed up, all cognitive functions to be fully intact yet. Anyway, but inevitably the question that got asked as I've been revising and refining this mission statement over the years is, what were the most poignant, impactful, salient moments of my life? They didn't happen when I was in the Navy. They didn't happen in any past jobs that I've had. They didn't happen in the boxing ring. And strangely enough, they didn't even happen out here in the mountains. They happened at nightclubs, of all places. I can remember one time when I was 21, no, I was 20 at the time, 20 years old. I was in nuclear power school. The band Thriving Ivory came to play on bass, Angels on the Moon. And at this particular nightclub on bass, they started playing that song, and there were these 2 women I worked with. They were on the dance floor making out. And that was the first time in my life I've ever seen 2 adult women making out. And mind you, I'm not complaining because it was extremely hot. But another example, when I was a little bit older, probably 26, 27, some of you will know about Pulse nightclub in Cincinnati, and it's not a great place. It's pretty good for Cincinnati, but I was dancing, and for whatever reason, I'm naturally a very kind of shy, introverted person, but for whatever reason, on this particular night, I was like Popeye on spinach. I was really on top of my game, really aligned. Anyway, there was this elementary school teacher and her friend, and 3rd grade teacher. She wanted to dance with me for whatever reason, and somewhere during that evolution, I ended up knocking over some guy's drink. But it didn't end up escalating. You know, I just handed him a $5 bill. He's like, okay, yeah, cool, man. But, you know, in the heat and the adrenaline and all the alcohol, that could have potentially escalated to something disastrous. But it's actually more boast-worthy if you can diffuse a potentially confrontational situation before it becomes that, as opposed to actually having to fight. That's one of the lessons of martial arts. The whole point is to never have to use it. So anyway, got to dance with this 3rd grade teacher, diffused a potentially confrontational situation. And towards the end of the night, she led me by the hand off the dance floor, and that story is to be continued another time. But anyway, the things that really struck me at my core, the one common denominator is that they all happened at nightclubs. For whatever reason, there's just something about that environment that resonates with me, that resonates with the core of my being. But getting back to the point of the mission statement, to spread good ideas using mass media, to deliver good food more cheaply, to make people come in the brain using live entertainment.